Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and today I'm coming to you with a type of video I really haven't made in some time, and that is going to be a From the Vault video. It's a video series where I bring some gun from my collection that I find to be either rare or has some type of historical significance that I like to show off. And today I brought out the HK P9S Target in .45. People have been asking me to kind of go back and do the From the Vault videos and to bring back more of the guns that I used to feature on the channel a long time ago, since now I have so many more subscribers. So I thought I would try that out this week and see the type of response that I get. So this gun I brought out, as I mentioned, is the HK P9S Target chambered in .45 auto. There it is in focus. Sorry it took a second there. Very futuristic looking gun. This gun was built in the 1970s and the 1980s. And what makes it so unique is that it incorporates the roller locking delayed system from the MP5 or the G3 type of HK legacy guns. Mechanically and historically, this is a category of pistols that I'm very interested in. Just like the Benelli pistol, I forgot the exact model, but they try to incorporate the inertia-driven system from their shotguns into a pistol. I'm always fascinated when a company becomes known for a particular type of locking mechanism or a device or something about a firearm, and then they try to incorporate that into other guns. Many times it doesn't set the guns up for success because, for example, like in the Benelli system, the inertia-driven system really is for very powerful cartridges like the 12 gauge. It doesn't really scale down to the 9mm effectively. And when it comes to the roller locking system, I think when you start to get into a gun that is this small and this narrow, you also have some issues. But all accounts say that this particular gun is extremely reliable, and it does kind of have a cult following. Now, this particular example is brand new in the box and unfired. Well, the box isn't in as nice of condition, and I'll show you that one. But this gun is an unfired example. There are a couple of variations of this gun that are extremely sought after. The most sought after are the P9s. I want to say there was less than 1,000, maybe like 600 that were imported into the United States. And the main difference between the P9 and the P9S is the P9s are single action only, while the P9Ss are single double action. So these have an internal hammer. It is not a striker fired gun, even though it kind of looks like it would be. Then of the 40-something thousand that were imported, I believe only about 9,000 were in .45, and even fewer are the Target model, which have the adjustable sights in the back and this very big sight in the front. It's very tall and it almost looks like a suppressor height sight. It's a unique pistol, very different. It incorporates a sheet metal slide. For me personally, some of it kind of feels a little bit cheap. It's an early kind of a polymer gun. The frame really is aluminum or metal, but the grip housing is all plastic and polymer. So it kind of feels like a polymer gun, but it really is not. So let me adjust the camera and we're going to look at this on the bench and get a closer look at the operating system and why this gun is so unique and I find to be so fascinating. All right, so here is the pistol on the table here. As you can see, it's a very futuristic, very attractive looking offering from HK. Very forward thinking. I'll take it apart here in a second and show you a couple of other innovative things. But just to go over the basic controls here, you have the safety, which is slide mounted just like a Beretta 92. You have a heel mounted magazine release. And by the way, if you ever want to find 45 magazines for the P9S, good luck. These things are as rare as hen's teeth, and you will not find them. And if you do, they're extremely expensive, which goes for most parts on this gun. So if you want to replace a particular part, they haven't had any aftermarket support for these guns in over 30 years. So good luck finding them. Pretty much you have to buy another one and cannibalize it. So, but as expensive as these are and as rare as they are, I don't think many people are doing that. So you might have to have a custom part made, but there is very few parts aftermarket for these guns and they're extremely expensive. The other control, which is very interesting about this gun, is you have the slide release and it's kind of a decocker here on the side of the pistol, kind of where the magazine release here in the United States normally would be. So if I cock this gun, or pull the slide back, if I want to drop the slide, all I have to do is push this lever down, and the slide will fall, just like that. And you also notice that there's an indicator here on the back, and that tells you that the hammer is cocked, and that is not a striker. It's actually a hammer indicator. And if you want to safely lower the hammer without firing the gun, you simply push down on this lever, you can pull the trigger, and then release the hammer that way. It's a little bit odd, a little bit different, but it does allow you to safely decock the gun. You just have to be a little bit careful. I'll give you a little bit of the close-ups here of these target sights, which are, as I said, kind of rare here on the P9S. And there's that very tall front blade. So let's take this apart. Of course, you want to remove the magazine. And this has a really interesting way of disassembly. There's a little latch here in the trigger guard, and all you have to do to take this gun apart is push that up and in. It's this little lever right here, and the slide will come forward a little bit and off. So you push that in, slide comes forward and off the gun. There really isn't a lot of rail space on this gun at all. These little notches in this stamped sheet metal slide right here, you can see where those notches are on both sides. They ride in these little tiny channels right there. And here is the internal hammer I was mentioning before. As you can see, this gun is brand new and unfired. Another part that you want to watch out for if you ever buy a P9 or a P9S is that there is a little rubber buffer inside of this space right here, which you can replace by taking out this screw. HK has not made these buffers in over 30 years, so the few that are out there are extremely difficult to find and are expensive. I was able to luckily source one. I think I got this one from HK Parts. Not that I ever plan on shooting this gun, but it is nice to have the extra one because these will deteriorate over time as well. Plus, in the eventuality, if I ever did sell this, I think this would be a added and special edition to anybody that would be an HK collector that would want to own this, to know they actually had an extra buffer. I should also show off the box here. The box is very basic and plain. Here it is. I want to say from the early 80s. You can see HK P9S, made in Germany here. Just a little cardboard box. I do have the extra magazine in the safe. And of course you got your instruction manual. You have a little tool here for taking all those little screws out. You got the original target in there, and you got some other paperwork, stuff that you would normally get with any pistol. So let's talk about this interesting operating system here. So if you want to disassemble the slide, all you have to do is push the barrel forward and pull it up. And then we can see this piece in here, which is very much like an MP5 locking piece and bolt. It's very unique. So I found the easiest way to do this is kind of hold it towards you, push it down and up. And that's the entire barrel assembly right there. You can actually see the indentations here where the rollers would go in the barrel. And then right there is the bolt. It looks very much like an MP5. In fact, you can rotate it off and there is a locking piece just like the MP5. Very interesting, very unique, and good luck finding any replacement parts for that. Being that this is a sheet metal slide as well, you can remove this entire assembly in here where the firing pin is. You have to take out the safety and it simply comes right out. It's actually a very simple design for being so over-engineered. So it's over-engineered, it's very complex, but in a way it is extremely simple. And so reassembly of this gun is the exact opposite of how we took it off. You got to make sure these indentations where the slide rails would be fall right into these little channels, and then once it slides on, you just pull it back just a little bit and the gun is back together. So field stripping this gun is exceptionally easy. It is a very unique and different design. And if you are an HK collector, you definitely need to have a P9 of some kind. Now, I don't think these are as nice as the P7s. I believe that these were a little bit over-engineered, and I think that some of the construction, like the sheet metal slide and kind of the polymer over-molded grips here, make them feel a little cheap, but they're not. They just don't have the same quality feel as a P7, but they're still a really cool piece of HK history. This is one of those 1970s HK pistols that I've always wanted. I really have one that I need for the collection, which is an HK4, and I guess really a VP70 if I can ever find one of those. Then I'd have most of my vintage HK pistols in the collection. But if you're an HK collector, you gotta have the P9 or the P9S. And as I said, very few of the P9s exist here in the United States. I know one person that has one, and it is really, really cool. But there you go. So the HK P9S from the vault, a very rare example of a 45 chambered target model. You will not find this very often at a gun show or a gun shop because they are super rare, and I know very, very sought after. I got this one for an exceptional deal here a few years ago, and I've only seen the prices of these things go up, up, and up. So there you go. So do you guys own an HK P9S or a P9? And what do you guys think of this pistol if you've never heard of it before? Very different and very unique. All right, so let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if you like this From the Vault video, where I can start to bring out guns that I have featured a long time before, and now that I have so many new subscribers, maybe you guys would be interested in seeing my collection. So there you go. So let me know if you have any questions. And as always, thanks for watching.